You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Improv, right? That's what we're doing first?
We're just going to wing it.
You took over about a year ago from Mark Lewison at Samsung Networks. Those are big shoes to fill. Tell us a little bit about what excites you about this new role.
Yeah, Mark left big shoes to fill. And I think Mark and I had several discussions in regards to how I fill those shoes. And he said, don't try to fill the shoes, bring your own shoes. And that makes complete sense. He said, you have your own way of managing and leading, and that's where you move forward. I worked with Mark for about 11 years, and I couldn't have had a better mentor than Mark. I think as I took over, the industry is ever changing, and that's what makes it exciting. It's becoming more innovative with every G, either inter-G or intra-G. I think our goal is really to build networks that are future-proof, and so we can provide our customers with more flexibility and scalability. Earlier this year, we helped Verizon power the 5G experience for the users attending the big game in New Orleans. And what we found was that at the day of the game, we provided 94 terabytes of data just on the game day. And we saw the downlink at 2.4 times faster and the uplink at 4.8 times faster than its competitors. So as we're building the next generation of technology, we are expecting a higher throughput and a better experience from our customer, for our operators. And I'm thrilled to be part of that.
Excellent. It's been a couple of years since I sat down with Mark to talk about 5G. What is your take on where we are and where we're headed on 5G? Obviously, everyone's discussing it today.
Yeah, I think if I look at what's happening in the industry itself, there's, I think as of a couple weeks ago, there was 289 million 5G connections across North America, and we're covering 77% of the region. And those numbers, you think about, are pretty incredible if you think of when we started. At Samsung, we've been focused really helping our operator customers build 5G networks for over 10 years. And that to me is exciting, and how far we've come. So I've been with Samsung for 12 years. And I started, I'll probably show my age here, been in telecom. I started in telecom in 1988. And I worked for 3 different OEMs. I worked for 3 carriers, 2 construction engineering companies. And I've held roles in everything from finance to supply chain to engineering and operations. And I look at it as I can't imagine being part of a different industry than telecom. I think it's when you grow up in something and you see all the changes, you think about 1G to 5G and ultimately 6G. It's amps, it's TDMA to CDMA to LTE to NR. And the changes of spectrum, and I think we'll talk a little bit more about that. But change of the OEMs have changed, the carriers have changed, and that to me is really a dynamic way of an industry of being a part of. Today we're focused on rolling out 5G standalone, and our customers are preparing for integration, next generation technology similar to AI, AI, and the mobile experience has become such a huge part of our lives. It's like an organ, and it's funny. One of my kids asked me, he said, I think they would rather give up a kidney than give up their cell phone. So that's how important it's becoming.
So you did mention AI. I'm actually fairly convinced I'll be replaced as an interviewer next year with an AI avatar. But what is your vision of how AI will apply in the going forward 5G world, and how it impacts the consumer experience and the carrier experience?
Yeah. So as a company, Samsung is committed to AI for all. We're adding integrated AI into almost everyday life across all of our devices, all of our services, focusing on personalized and connected experience for consumers and businesses. We have a pretty unique advantage, I think, as a Samsung as a whole. A breadth of a portfolio. I'm not sure there's anybody in the world that has that. If you're looking at from a consumer play and a business play, it's the devices, it's laptops, it's semiconductors, it's a home appliance, it's TVs. It's everything pretty much across the board that's electronic inside your house. It's a pretty interesting combination to have both, and it takes all of these products to really set us apart from everybody else. And our goal here as AI gets introduced more and more into the 5G sector is that we'll continue to lead. In terms of leading the industry, we are, I think, one of the largest R&D spenders in the world. I think last year we did about $24 billion worth of investments into research. We have 6 global AI centers across the world, and there's about 1,000 different researchers. We're really dedicated to understand how AI is going to impact us today and how it's going to impact us tomorrow, and really what's required to provide that service from our telecommunications service telecommunications partners.
So when it comes to AI and your telco customers, how do you see the carriers deploying it? How does the Samsung difference impact that conversation?
Yeah, so Samsung is a founding member of AI RAN Alliance, and it's been in support since really the beginning. We've been on a mission to see how AI impacts the RAN at every single level. One of the recent examples we had was really at Verizon at Mobile World Congress. As we implemented AI and we looked at the networks, we found ways of optimizing the performance of the cell site and turning radios on and turning them off depending on the traffic model. And what we found is that Verizon saved about 50% of electricity on a monthly basis, which then if that trickles down to the P&L, it has a tremendous impact on the carriers. As I mentioned earlier, we believe vRAN is the network is the key to AI. We believe it's going to be successful in terms of the networks today, and it's also Verizon is the world's largest vRAN provider in and across the globe, and I think they're going to I'm expecting them to take full advantage of this new tool of energy savings.
To circle back a little bit to a hot topic all afternoon, it's been spectrum. And the industry, under CTIA's leadership and Ajit's leadership, is pushing for more, obviously. What's your view on the state of the spectrum debate now and how it interplays with America's 5G leadership?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to 3 things. And then some of this is going to be in support of some of the fine speakers we have up here. It's really spectrum, capacity, and openness. And spectrum and capacity really, I call it they're linked together. It's either, if you don't have more spectrum, you have to build more sites. The demand of bandwidth that's required by the U.S. and by all consumers across the globe is, I think, it's like the hockey stick. It's almost going straight up. If there's not enough spectrum, you have to keep building sites. It is not economically feasible for the carriers to continue building sites. We need more spectrum. I'm a firm believer, and I think Samsung's a firm believer, we need more C-band spectrum. And I think that will help us to keep the lead and obtain and continue to push beyond what China's doing today with the amount of spectrum that they have. And CTIA and Accenture reviewed this, I guess, a few months back. The amount of bandwidth that's they're expecting to be by the end of 2027, we do not have the capacity to support. So more specifically, like I said, we need more C-band spectrum. And there's more spectrum coming available in the later 27 and 28, and those need to be accelerated as much as possible as well. Lastly, we talked a little bit, I mentioned openness. I think we need to work together to ensure that the future of the networks have that flexibility. Open RAN really allows the operators to create a more flexible and open and innovative network architecture with a variety of partners. Samsung has been the global leader in Open RAN, and it comes deploying with the best breed of solution to help operators really optimize the network based on their specific demands.
All right, we've got 43 seconds left. We don't want to get Ajit mad at us at his first 5G summit. What's next for the telco industry, and talk a little bit about what that means in terms of 6G.
Yeah, I think the saying is, if we will build, they will come. And I think we built the 5G network. Now we're seeing, major operators take advantage of the applications and innovation provided by the 5G network. And we expect that to continue to enhance and continue to expand. We have gone from voice only to texting, to smartphones, really to slow video, to cable replacement. The key question is, what is 6G going to bring?